The Dow is down 486. It's been very volatile, to say the least. ABC will have more at the top of the hour. As of right now, it's been down as much as 1,000. It got down to just under got to like 305. So it's gone anywhere from down 1,000 to down 300. Right now it's down, 480. So it's jumping all around. Back to the phones. We're talking about this NFL cheerleader, 49 years old, was just pled guilty, got 2 years probation for raping a 15-year-old boy. And some of the phone calls we've gotten have been somewhat out from left field. John on a cell. You're the Big 550 KTRS. John, are you there? John? John, I can hear you. Let's put John on hold to see if we come back to John. Let's try Bill in Richmond Heights. Bill, you're on KTRS Radio.
Yeah, I don't believe there's a double standard at all. There's a pretty big biological difference between men and women, and last I checked, men can't get pregnant.
Okay. But you think a 15-year-old boy who is taken advantage of by a 49-year-old woman is okay?
No, I don't think it's okay, but he's not going to get pregnant. He doesn't have to endure 9 months of pregnancy.
Okay.
It's kind of a silly comparison, really.
Well, wait. What does it have to? What does having pregnant have to do with anything?
Well, Jared could have knocked up one of those girls.
Okay.
That would have been a huge disaster.
Okay. Well, what's if the 15-year-old boy would have knocked up the cheerleader?
Well, she's a grown-up. She's an adult.
But he's a 15-year-old father. Somehow you're insinuating that it's the woman's responsibility for the baby as opposed to a equal part. Just because the woman carries the baby, the woman also needs the seed from the man. So the man's kind of an important deal. In other words, he should be just as responsible as the woman for the byproduct of the session.
You're now judging two adults. You got to be judging an adult and a child.
Do you believe? Is it possible for a 15-year-old boy to have consensual sex with a 49-year-old woman?
Yes, it's very possible.
So you think, is it possible for a 15-year-old girl to have consensual sex with a 49-year-old man?
Well, yes, of course, but just like the 49-year-old woman and the young boy, it's consensual, but the kid is still a kid. It's still statutory rape.
Okay.
She should be prosecuted for statutory rape. But I think that the crime of Jared is much a heavier,
Why?
burden on the little girl than the little boy.
Only because the girl can get pregnant?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, Bill, thank you for your phone call. I don't understand exactly what he was saying, but if I do understand what he was saying, I disagree vehemently because I believe that as a 15-year-old, you cannot consensually have sex. You cannot consent to have sex with a 49-year-old person. It's just that older adult. It's that older adult is taking advantage of the younger, and that's the double standard. That the men, it's like, well, not that big of a deal. Women, oh, that's terrible. I mean, it's really the same issue. But one society looks at it and frowns upon Jared Vogel and is disgusted by, not just frowned upon, but disgusted by it with Jared Vogel. But the NFL cheerleader who abuses the 15-year-old boy, well, what are you going to do? John is back. John, thanks for checking in. You're on the Big 550 KTRS.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
My situation is a little bit... Well, first of all, two things. Rolling Stone magazine did an in-depth article about this somewhere within the last 5 years about a teacher in New Jersey and a 15-year-old boy,
right.
And it was excellent.
Well, it happens. It seems like every single day there's another story of another teacher abusing some teenage boy.
Right. Mine was a little bit different. I was abused by my babysitter when I was like 8 years old, from 8 to 10 years old. She was about 5 years older than me, so it started when I was 8 and she was 13.
Okay.
Back at the time, and all those years, I thought I was being educated in the ways of the world, about sex and what have you, and it was physically enjoyable. That being said, I found out later on, many years later, through a therapist, that no, it wasn't education, it was abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, it was. Now, that being said, it made me ask the question, well, how did the 13-year-old learn about all this? Was she in fact abused and was just acting out on her, angst and emotional turmoil? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's no way that it's illegal for a reason, and it should be. And the old boy network of the teenage boys saying, I got myself an older woman. Well, guess what? You got more problems than you realize at the moment. It can influence your behavior many years hence in your opinions and expectations from women, from dates, from your partners, from just your relationships with women in general. And it's just not a good thing.
Well, the two callers who called in before you, they, without admitting it, basically admitted that it messed with their brains for a number of years.
And I will say that it probably did with mine. The child, of course, we know I'm not an expert, but
sure.
The child's brain is forming, growing. Even the teenage brain is not fully mature yet.
Right.
And it can, like I say, it can imprint itself on your expectations about your sexual partners. I don't know.
Did you ever tell your parents or a teacher or a coach or anything about what was going on?
Was afraid to, because I thought I would get in trouble for it. It was the old thing. If you better knock it off. You better not say anything, or you'll get in trouble.
Yeah. Did you think, wow, this is cool. I'm an adult. I'm being this is my special friend. I mean, were you almost like, I don't want to say you were consenting, but did you think you were consenting, and did you think it was good?
Yeah.
That makes any sense.
I thought I was consenting. I didn't expect that I was the babysitter's boyfriend. The age difference was too great, but did I enjoy myself? Yes, but it was purely physical.
Yeah. What happened to the girl? Did you stay in touch with her?
To be honest with you, we're talking 50 years ago. I don't know what we moved away.
Yeah.
And got too old to babysit. And like I say, she was a neighbor, and her father and my father were very good friends.
Yeah.
I don't know what would have happened had either parent ever found out.
Yeah. So your parents never found out?
No, they never found out. And like I say, it was years later that I did, find out that I was in fact abused. And like I say, I'm firmly in the camp that is against older adults. Younger children.
Yeah.
There's no way that they can consent, but it's illegal.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. No, it's basically that a 15-year-old cannot consent. They don't have the mental acuity. They don't have the mental faculties. They're just not mature enough to consent to having a sexual encounter with a 49-year-old. It's just abuse and rape. That's just what it is.
No, exactly. No other words. That's exactly what it is, and it's illegal for a reason.
John, thank you very much for your candor, and thank you for the phone call.
You're welcome.
9:45 here, Big 550.